Hey guys, and welcome back. It's TD Tuesdays, so that means it's time for some tank destroyers to shine. And today we have Berkeli in his TS-5, the new premium Tier 8 American tank destroyer, which is basically the replacement for the T-28. Let's face it, it's just better. Berkeli finds himself on Erlenberg, or Derpenberg, whichever way you want to call it. Puts in a good first shot on the EBR. We all know that how frustrating it can be to miss that first one. The second one, yeah, there you go. That's the frustration we're talking about. So Berkeli, he's going to be pushing down this right-hand flank and putting a bit of pressure on their light tanks and medium tanks as they try to get onto that hill. It looks like he's cut the EBR off, which has brought the medium tanks out to play, and he's ceased their flanking abilities almost immediately, which is great. I mean, that's very difficult to do. Has AP loaded, tries to go through the front, the little flat bit at the front of the 4502A, but unlike all the other German heavy tanks, the 4502A actually has quite strong turret armor. Goes to the FV4202, but he decides not to shoot for the cupola. He might have thought he was going to reverse, but he was incorrect in thinking that way, as he decided not to. Now he loads gold. He wants to overmatch the top of that tank. Yeah, he's going to go for the front, and he goes straight through it. 4502A, yep, easy. Now he wants to push forward, but he doesn't want to get shot in the side by the Batchat that is on the hill. And more gold into the front of that 4502A. It's making short work of him. He really is playing aggressively. He's blocked 1700 damage already. Batchat 12T is still on the hill. He really would like his medium tanks to play a bit more aggressive over there, but they've decided not to. This is a Tier 8 game, so it's all fair. No overmatches or outmatches, just clean old, just one tier to go around, one tier to fit all. Now Berkeli's really afraid of this Batchat. I don't think he should be. I reckon he should just push forward, and yeah, he's decided that's exactly what he should do. He's going to try and aggressively go after this 4502A. He stops early. There's also a Lanson, and the IS-3 hits him with HE, so that's unfortunate. The Lanson's going to be able to take another shot right here. It looks like he has decided not to, because his medium tanks have actually pushed the hill and gotten rid of the Lanson. Which is great news. Now he can play really aggressive. Tries to go for the cupola on the 4502A, misses, so he loads back gold. And easy kill. He didn't really need gold for that one, but just in case he was still looking at him. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Now he actually gets penned through the side. A little bit of overlay. Actually, no, gets penned in the cupola. It was a good shot by the FV4202. He's trying to assess the situation. Is there enough of a threat on that hill for him to go around that corner? Or to not go around that corner? So he needs to get rid of this FV. That's his only choice, really. The defender's not really a target, so he can't position himself to fire on him. He has to deal with whatever comes through here. I think he's hoping that that IS-3A decides to push through, and he must have just missed the FV. I don't think he realizes that that's a cornered area. So there's the IS-3. He can get a shot on him, and he does, but because it's heat rounds that he's firing, it doesn't go through the tracks. And the reload on this thing, he fires AP, and this is the difference between the two shell types. The heat didn't go through because it hit the tracks, which reduces the penetration by quite a lot, and he would have easily tracked him the first time round. But on the second attempt with the AP rounds, he was able to get the tracking shot off. And the IS-3 had no choice but to use his repair kit, or he would have been perma-tracked. You can just see the reload on display here. Now Berkeli is using collar instead of a fire extinguisher. He's hoping that no one flanks him. And you don't want to be in that situation, Mr. FV. Now to go around this corner or not, he's going to wait for his reload, which is quite quick, I must add. Just trying to see if he can spot the IS-3 to maybe assess the situation a bit better. It's up to 2,000 damage blocked, 3,700 damage dealt. He gets spotted. That means the the Bat Chat on the hill spotted him. So he does a full 180. But now the Bat Chat's backed off. So he's caught in a crossfire here. He really doesn't want to be in. The CDA, should I say, is it? Yeah, the CDA gets cut off on the northern flank, which is good news. That means there's less to worry about there. But the cannon on Jagdpanzer 105 is still present. So pushing around the corner to get the IS-3 still isn't exactly the best idea. Getting rid of this Bat Chat will allow his team to do more. He notices the TS5 on the map. He tries to react, but he'd run. Oh, he takes a snapshot at the Bat Chat and kills him. That opens up his T44 and his 53 TP. Now the 53 TP has been called into action. He needs him to push, but he's decided not to. The IS-3A decides he's going to... The IS-3, shall I say, has decided to try and flank Berkeli while he can't. Berkeli gets ready, goes for the track, gets it. And the IS-3 hits his track in return. Now he's definitely got the reload here. He goes straight through the front plate with AP. Just got to keep wiggling that armor, make sure he can't hit, and just go straight for the turret ring. No, go for the turret ring, mate. You got him, you got him. Doesn't need to. Goes for the top plate, flat, angled, doesn't matter. Luckily, he had the right angle, and it was an easy shot. The TS5A on the enemy team has actually outflanked him here. You can see the top, there you go, the cupola, he hits it. That means he hits the communication device, I think it's called. Second time, doesn't hit it flush. You've got to hit those right in the middle or it won't pan. It's one of those. There we go. That's a better shot. So third time lucky. Now you can't push too far forward because there's a T-32 covering the street in front of him. So he's going to try and out-trade. Luckily he's got his cupola well covered here. And ooh, he didn't have the reticle, the outline of the TS5. He sees that the T-32 is not there, so he decides to push forward. Now he decides to stop, keep his front plate down, and try and out-duke it with this TS5. And luckily, it wasn't the best of aimed shots, but it went through. So it got the job done. He's up to almost 7,000 damage, 2,400 damage blocked. Lance and C pops up behind him. This is where that fire extinguisher, not having one, comes into play. He ignores the Lancet. Goes for a snapshot on the Morsebreaker. Now he's got to try and turn around. Because the T-32 and the Lancet C are on his heels. What's he going to do here? Is he going to take a shot at the Morsebreaker? No, he's not. He's going to try and get out of the way of the T-32. Push around on this Lancet. The Lancet hits, but doesn't get a pen. Hits his track. Doesn't even get a yellow track, I don't think. So he keeps pushing. T-32 can't get him. He tries to side scrape backwards. Now he knows he's got enough time to reverse. T-32 hits him with HE, which wasn't a wise choice. Goes straight through the side of the T-32, and T-32 still firing HE. Upper plate. Oh, just bounces. It wasn't the right angle. You could do that again though. Oh, just misses again. Should be dead already. T-32 realizes he's in a lot of danger here. He can't duke it out. He snapshots and sets him on fire, and down goes the T-32. Jagdpanzer 101, there's only 30 seconds left. That's all he has to do is survive for 30 seconds and he's got this game. He's still got the Stritzvine and the 53 TP on defense, but realistically he's just pushed forward and done everything by himself. And that's all she wrote. I mean, that was pretty quick and simple. Let me quickly jump over to the end plates and you can see he's aced the tank. Got a Radley Walker's medal. Steel wall. high caliber, and obviously he got the Radleys, so he's also got a top gun. Look at this for a carry. He only needed to defend, but he pushed forward and decided, I'm going to take you guys on, and that's exactly what he did. 2,288 experience earned, 8,000 damage dealt. That's more than any 2 players on his team. It's more than any 2 players on the enemy team as well. So what an absolute carry here. I mean, 34 shots fired, 29 hit, 21 pens. There would have been a couple on the T32. And out of the 211,000 credits he made, he earned and took away with him to 127,000. So this was a 34-32 experience game with the multipliers and everything. Bonus for premium vehicle, 3,775. So that was Berkeli in his TS5-A, the new premium tank, and it's good to see it being shown off in its natural environment, on the front line, doing what it should. You know, ambushing is one thing, but this thing really does have some pretty good armor. It has a lot better armor than a T28. T28 may have stronger armor, but it's got weaknesses surrounding that armor that are just too easy to exploit, unlike the TS5s, which are just better, and it's got a better gun in retrospect. So that's been TD Tuesdays, and I'll see you next week.